Hey everyone, welcome to another rough edit video of me working in my butterfly garden. I literally just finished filming the last video that hopefully you watched, and now we're going to start on this one where we're going to be thinking about what am I going to do with my sleepy hibiscus that fell over and the rest of that wetland garden. Okay, so remember in our walk through the garden after Hurricane Helene, and my sleepy hibiscus is totally over, but it's not broken. It just kind of leaned in the wetland garden. Here's my plan. I'm going to leave this be. Eventually, these will go upright and it will naturally fill in this area. I'm going to trim off some of this so I can still get my cart in. And then this was all overshrouding my wetland garden, which now I'm going to fill in with all that swamp milkweed. Well, not all of it, but some of it that's sitting up in the potted tree house that I grew from seed. All that in there. It's scrappy looking, I know, but I'm going to get it in there. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to get a lot of it in there, and I'm not going to have to use a shovel or dig anything. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. All right, here I am in the potted tree house. I'm literally just going to pull these out and carry a bunch of them down. And then I can come and clean all this up because these are all sitting in water and I don't want mosquitoes. After a hurricane comes through, that's when we get mosquitoes. So I'm going to get rid of all of this and get these little baby sad looking swamp milkweeds in, and they're probably going to be really happy once they get in the ground. And I'm just going to place them in there. I brought a little tray up to collect them in so I won't have to go up and down so many times. And then I'm pulling the weeds out because I don't want those going down there. All right, this is the last group. Now I've got the remnants of the soil that's nice and mucky, and this is good soil. I'm gonna take it and just take each container by container and kind of dump it in and around where I put all of those to kind of fill in and plant them there. Just like that. And I'll just fill in all in and through here with all that soil. Okay, pots are all empty. And now I'm going to grab my hose and I'm going to let the natural work of erosion and moving water do its thing to settle the loose soil in and around all of the new milkweed plants that are now in this area, thanks to the sleepy hibiscus that is leaning over now and not hogging the space. We are totally Totally making some delicious lemonade here out of our Hurricane Helene lemon. When I was a kid, give me a hose and some dirt. I used to love making little trails and roadways in the dirt by blasting the hose. And I didn't know it was erosion at that time, but I would erode the soil away, and then I would make little roadways for my cars and little toys, and then just make a whole little village. Those were the days, weren't they? I don't know, do kids do stuff like that still? Or are they just all inside? So after doing this, I can see I'm uncovering some roots, see right there. So when I'm done watering and smoothing everything out, I've got some potting soil that I will come and top it off with, to make sure that everything is covered. So this spray is like heavy enough and solid enough to create movement, but not harsh enough to like wash it all away too quickly and cause harm to the tender roots that we may or may not be exposing. All right, the soil looks pretty much leveled out. I'm gonna go get my bag of potting soil and finish it up. This is the jungle growth potting soil that I get from Lowe's. I'm just gonna actually use my hands and just kind of toss it in and just cover up all those exposed roots. And then I'll water it in again in case I got soil all over any of the leaves. Doesn't that look lush and lovely? I'm gonna water that in. I'm gonna work on, like, my Orangeo integrifolium is leaning from the hurricane, so I'm gonna get it standing back up again, do a little trimming, and then I'll come back and show you the final look of the wetland garden with the leaning sleepy hibiscus. Here's my wetland planter, looking good. All filled in, lots of new swamp milkweed plants nestled in there. I used the Velcro tape to gather all of my Orangeo integrifolium together so it's not just falling over and leaning out in front. And I did the same with the narrowleaf sunflower. I used the Velcro tape and wrapped it up. And so now it's standing upright and it's getting ready to bloom. And it's not falling out in my walkway anymore. And across the path here is another story for another day. But oh, do I have plans for that? So this side's looking good, but then when I came around to this side, it needed some work. Really, my climbing aster, which is right there, was all over the place. So I had an old trellis piece that was in the Maypot mansion that was not being used, and I put it right behind it to get that all going upright. And I also used the Velcro to hook together my clustered bush mint, which was also sprawled all over the place, and got it all going upright, which completely opened up this here. Look at that. All of that climbing aster was all just laying down in here. Here's my sweet scent, getting sunshine again. There were some salvias here. They're still here. I just trimmed them back so that the sweet scent can get some sun because it needs some. And guess what? I have more swamp milkweed. I do, up in the potted treehouse. So it's gonna go in here, and I still have some of the potting soil left to top it off. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. Hello there, beautiful little golf fritillary. You look brand new. Yes, you do. You go enjoy yourself in my butterfly garden. Just live it up and have a ball. It's here all for you. Back up in the treehouse we go. And see, look, up here, got all of the pots that were down there, but there's more. Those two swallowtails are still at it down there. I've seen them do this. They'll do this like all day. It's like a courtship thing, I think. And it's a long process. And I've got all these milkweeds out. I'll go place them in. Got a lot more soil to fill in around them. Look what's right here. A little baby sleepy hibiscus coming up. I'll just stand that up right there. There was so much soil left in those pots up there. I didn't even need to use my potting soil to fill this one in. That, y'all, I cannot be more pleased with how this is coming together. It needs to grow up and fill in, but oh my goodness. And the climbing aster will bloom, I believe, later in October. The sweet scent blooms all year. I've still got my potted pentas in here. Orangeo integrifolium is starting to come to the end of its bloom season, but the narrowleaf sunflower is just starting to bloom. I have a lot of clustered bush mint in here, and it's towards the end of its blooming season, but it might put on more blooms also. Here's the swamp milkweed, and then coming around here, lots of bloom time in my sleepy hibiscus that will eventually see this main stem here. It'll eventually like start going more upright, and the plant will be just fine. And now it's just going to be taking up space here. I could actually trim that right there and be able to walk through, but I'm just going to leave it for now, see what it does. It'll be an interesting observation. And now it's time for a sweaty me to go do something else, like go inside and clean up a bit. I hope you enjoyed this video. There's going to be more coming because I still haven't even shared the finding and discovery of the Atala butterflies. So stay tuned, and I will see you in my next video.